Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start the unit 1 of mathematics book of class 10. The title of first unit is quadratic equation. In this unit, we'll discuss how we can define quadratic equation, how we can solve a quadratic equation by factorization, by using completing square method. We also derive a quadratic formula by using method of completing square. Then we'll use this quadratic formula to solve the quadratic equation. We also solve the equations which are not looking just like a quadratic equation but can be reduced into quadratic equation by using suitable substitution. So let's define the quadratic equation. In mathematics, a quadratic equation is a polynomial equation of the second degree. The general form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where x represents a variable or an unknown and a and b are a, b and c are constants with a is not equal to 0. If this a is equal to 0, the equation is a linear equation. The constants a and b are called respectively the quadratic coefficient, linear coefficient, and the constant term or free term. So in other words, we can say that an equation which can be written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not is equal to 0, is known as a quadratic equation. And the constant terms, the a is the constant term of x square, b is constant term or coefficient of x, and c is a constant term. A quadratic equation contains term of first and second degree of unknown is given as ax square. So this term is a second degree and bx is this term is a first degree. And this form of the quadratic equation is a standard form or general form of a quadratic equation. Here a must not be equal to 0. A quadratic equation that contains term of second degree only of the unknown is called a pair quadratic equation. It means when this b is equal to 0, we left with ax square plus b is equal to 0. So this form is known as a pair quadratic equation. A value of unknown that will satisfy the equation is called the solution or the root of the equation. Some examples: 3x square plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. This is the standard form of a quadratic equation. 9x square plus 32x plus 38 is equal to 0. This is again the standard form of equation. X square minus 4 is equal to 0, and this is the pair form of a quadratic equation. Exercise 1.1. Write the quadratic equation in the standard form and point out pair quadratic equation. Question number 1. Just we have to multiply x with this x minus 3 and this 7 plus 7 with x minus 3. So when we multiply with this one x with x, this is x square, x into 3, this is here, this is minus 3, so minus 3x, 7x minus 21 is equal to 7. Minus 3x plus 7x, so we have plus 4x. And now we can we have to shift this minus 7 1 to the left side of the equation, and minus 21 plus 7 1, this is minus 14. So x square plus 4x minus 14 is equal to 0, and this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. Part 2. This equation is x square plus 4 divided by 3 minus x by 7 is equal to 1. Sorry. To simplify this, first we have to take LCM, and the LCM of 3 and 7 is 21. So we have to multiply both sides with 21. When we when we simplify this one, this 3 7 times 21, and here 7 3 times 21. So here is 3 and here is 7. Just we have to multiply x square plus 4 with 7 and x with 3 is equal to 21. So 7x square 7 4 times 28 minus 3x is equal to 21. So now we have to shift this 21 into the left hand side of equation. Obviously we have to change the sign of 21. 7x square plus 28 minus 3x minus 21, and when we simplify this, when this equation, and writing in this in the descending order, so 7x square minus 3x 28 minus 21, we left with 7 is equal to 0. Again, this is a standard form of a quadratic equation. Part 3, again we have to take LCM on both LCM of this from, so that LCM is x and x plus 1, and we have to multiply both sides with x plus 1 times x. So this x will cancel out with this one, and this x with so here this x plus 1 cancel out with this x plus 1, and this x will cancel out with this one, and here we left with x we left with this x and this x. So this will x become x square, and here this x will cancel out with this, and this one here is x plus 1 and this x plus 1, and here when we have when we multiply with x with this x, this is x square, and when we multiply x with 1, so there is x. So now we have to multiply with this one, same as we have multiplied in part 1. Just we have to write this x with this whole one, then we sign 7 with this whole term with 1. So now here we have multiplied this x with this whole one, and this one with this whole one. Another way, that when we multiply this x, sorry, this x with this x, that is x square, and when we multiply this x with minus 2, this is minus 2x, and we multiply this minus 2 with this x, so we have again minus 2 and minus 2, we have minus 4x, and minus 2, and this is minus 2, with when we multiply with these two terms, we have plus 4x square minus 2x is equal to 0. So here is 0. When we multiply with this term, this whole term will be equal to 0. Here just we have to multiply with this 4, and we have to open this bracket. This is 4x square minus 8x is equal to 0, and this plus x square cancel out with this x square. This is plus 4x, here is minus, and this when we multiply with this minus 1, this is plus 4x. So plus 4x, 8x, and here is minus 8x. So these two terms cancel out with each other, and we have this minus, and here is minus, and this is plus. So when we multiply with this one, so minus 4. So after simplification, we left with 4x square minus 4 is equal to 0. So taking 4 as a common and dividing both sides with 4, we have left with x square minus 1, and this is a pure quadratic form of a quadratic equation. So part 5 you have to solve yourself. Part 6, again here you can see that there the LCM is 12x plus 1 x plus 3. So we have to multiply both sides with this whole term, and when we with each term of this equation, and this x plus 2 cancel out with this one, and we have left with this whole term, and this x plus 3 cancel out with this x plus 3, and we left with this term, and again this cancel out with this 12, This 12 will cancel out with this one, and we have left with this. And just we have to arrange, just we have to write 12 here first, and here just we have to write 12 here first, and here we have right, this is 25. Again we have to multiply in similar manner. We have I have explained in previous question that x with x square, here 3 with x 3x, and when we multiply this x with this one, so 3x plus x, that is 4x, and when we multiply 3 with this one, that is 3x, and we multiply with this one, we have this whole term, and when we multiply x plus 2 with x plus 3, we have with this term. So simply we have to multiply 12 with this whole term, and here we have to multiply 12 with this whole term, and here for 25 with this whole term. And we have after multiplication we have this type of equation. Now here is 12x square, and this is 12x square. This is 24. This is 48, and this is 48. Then when we add up these both terms, we have 96x. This is 36, and this is 48. And when we add up these terms, this is 84. And left hand side, so the right hand side, we have 25x square plus 125x plus 150. Now we have to shift this term into the left side. 25x square minus 24x square minus 25x square is 96x, here is 125. When we shift this into the left side, this is minus 125, this is 84, and when we shift this into the left hand side of the equation, we have minus 150 is, and this is equal to 0. And after simplification, we have minus x square minus 29x minus 66 is equal to 0. Just you have to take minus common, and dividing both sides with this minus, we have left with x square plus 29x plus 66 is equal to 0, and this is the standard form of our equation. So this is all about today's lecture. Inshallah, in next lecture we will solve the quadratic equation by factorization. So Allah Hafiz.